Let me get my glasses so I can actually read your bio. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the River's Edge. I am your host, Callie Rivers. Sammy Rivers is my co-host. He's taking a nap. And today I have such a cool person on and such a cool topic. We're going to be talking about Kris Duchek. Is that how you say your last name, Duchek?
Yes, it is. You got it right.
Woo! All right. Well, that's a good start.
Yeah, awesome.
Kris is in Edmonton, Canada, and she opened up a Psychic Teashop, which is much more than that, which we're going to hear all about today, what it includes. But I want to read your bio here so people can hear all the cool stuff. I'm such a cool concept. I love it. Okay, guys. Kris is the owner and operator of a Psychic Teashop in Edmonton, Alberta. The tea shop was opened in August of 2019, just before the dreaded COVID hit the world. Kris has a background in business. She has either managed or owned businesses most of her adult life. The businesses that she managed range from a video store to an oil trucking company. So weird.
Yeah.
I know a Psychic Teashop.
Yeah, exactly.
And an owner operator of a high-rise window cleaning company. Oh, so funny.
Yeah.
It was working in these mini high-pressure and 3D-minded mindset companies. She became very unhealthy, both mentally and physically, which caused her to go searching for healing and answers to who I am and what is she doing there, as we all do, right?
Yeah.
And you started working with a shaman and many naturopathic doctors to find healing. You've probably tried every healing modality out there. I know it, sister.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Only to realize the healing lies within. During your healing journey, you're offered the opportunity to buy a tea shop, in which you saw an opportunity to make it more than a tea shop and began creating Clair-i-tea. Love the name, love it. Creating a safe space for people to go through their evolution into becoming God's source energy who created them to become was the focus and mission of Clair-i-tea. It has been a set of beacon for all those who need to be here, drawn to help create a supportive community of like-minded people. There are many exciting projects you're planning for the next phase, from a mystery type school to a broadcast information type show, which will help awaken people to a new way of being and moving through the world. Oh, that's so cool. Thank you for being here.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. It's exciting to be on a show.
Kamara.
Yeah,
So you guys, Kamara, I've had Kamara on the show before talking about the Omni card.
Yes.
And Kris is a friend of Kamara. So that's how we got connected.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So I started this journey several years ago and became kind of broken through all of the whole 3D world and the stress of running big companies and hiring employees and 9 to 5 and never having a break and
corporate world.
Yeah, and just realizing that that isn't who I was, right? And began searching because I was so ill. I had many problems inside my stomach, and just couldn't get any answers from the medical field. So I started searching naturopaths and then finally ended up with a shaman and realized that a lot of what was going on with me was not only physical, it had manifested physically, but a lot of it was emotional, mental, and I was pretty broken. So then when this opportunity came along, I was kind of hesitant. I'm like, oh, can I do this? Is this really stepping back into the same thing that I left? But it's totally different because it's very community orientated. That's what I'm trying to build. And I'm trying to help those people along the way who are exploring who am I and what is it that I do. So, it could be somebody who's an herbalist, right? Who has discovered that that's their calling. And they have a place to come and show their wares, and they have supportive group of people around them who understand what it is they're trying to do and trying to heal people naturally, right? So that's just one example. So the reason that this was started was a lady, actually, an older lady, was going out of business with this tea shop and needed help and needed some ideas on how to bring more business in. And it just didn't work with her. So I started bringing in other things. So like psychics are a different clientele, right? A different draw from, people who just like to come and sit and have a cup of tea. But the
Right.
tea enables people to come into the shop and have tea and a scone or whatever and feel safe. The whole front of the shop is like home. So I have like big, comfy old chairs, and they're all mismatched. And, like it just feels like somebody's living room is what it feels like in the front. It's too bad I can't show you today. But
I know.
yeah. So when people come in, they get that sense of feeling at home right away by the way the atmosphere is. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So going from the corporate world to this Clair-i-tea shop is such a 180. Like there's no similarities.
I know.
Would you say
Exactly.
there was anyone that you worked with in your old life that was awakened and was on the same path as you are?
Well, I don't know if they were awakened, but to a certain degree they were, but they awoke me to especially some of the things that go on in the world in politics and all of those things, and they're not out for our best interests, and the chemtrails and all of that stuff. So the last relationship I was in, my boyfriend was of Polish descent, and of course they went through the Nazi Germany time, so they're very awakened to all of the political stuff that goes on. And so my eyes were open to that through that relationship. And then also to things like yoga and meditation and those sorts of things. So I would say yes, but mostly when I opened this shop, was when so many people came forward and so many people were like, oh my gosh, there's a place where I belong. I thought I was all alone. I thought I was the only one that thought this way or saw these things. So that was a big intention for the shop, right?
I love that. 'Cause there are, especially in the corporate world, I am from the corporate world.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not even something you discuss normally, first of
Exactly.
all. And so it's all business. It's all centered around corporate stuff. And
Yeah.
it can feel very lonely, or you can feel like there's nowhere to fit in if you have
Yeah.
there's passion inside you and the desire to awaken. So
Mm-hmm.
you said you started with the physical ailments that you have. Have you been able to heal those?
For the most part, I have a few things still left, but they're on the way out, I'm sure. I've been working with another gentleman here, and just a lot of the healing that we do here with the pyramid and those types of things, which I'll talk about later, has really helped me. And just being around people who understand when you say, I have an intuition that this is what we should do, and they get it, right? And they
Yes.
let you follow it. Mm-hmm.
I love that. I know when I started doing this channel, I like interviewing a variety of people like you and I talked about on the phone a few weeks ago,
Right.
different healers, because different things resonate with different people. You need different things at different times. And it sounds like your tea shop is just that, right? You can go in and kind of get a feel for where am I? What do I need? And if I were to go in there right now, would there be a psychic there to talk to, or a different Reiki healer, or what kind of people are there?
Yeah, exactly. So I have about 8 people on staff, and they range with modalities from like tarot to astrology to human design to Reiki to reconnective healing, quantum touch. Like all of those things are available on a daily basis as long as we're open, any hour that we're open.
And you need
Sorry, go ahead.
do you need an appointment?
Well, right now you do because of the COVID rules. You have your personal services are by appointment only. But normally we do walk-ins. So if people are walking by and they're feeling the urge to come in, they can just come in. And as long as somebody's free, then they'll be treated or have a reading, whichever. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So someone's just walking by, and by the way, Mary loves your idea. Like what a beautiful idea. I want one. I was telling Kris, anyone in California, how cool would that be?
Oh, it's awesome.
You're walking by and you see this cool tea shop. I'd be going there all the time.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. Energetically, we set it as a beacon to call forth the people that needed to come. And that's exactly what's happening. So when I started the tea shop, I never looked for people. I hadn't even built the outside, and I had psychics coming to me, right, to interview and go through. And everything's kind of been like that. And even my business partner, Tom, who brought in the eye pyramid, for healing, which is a technology that works on healing energies by frequency. So we set things at a certain frequency and they go in and resonate with, whatever physical, mental, emotional thing that's inside of you, and it kind of shakes it up, much like a shaman's rattle or a drum or something, right? It shakes it out of you. And then there are different other technologies within the pyramid, such as the PEMF mat, which puts your blood back into a hexagonal shape. And we have glasses in there, which balance the left and right hemisphere of your brain and put you into a theta state. So, people who are really awakened, they can go in there and like astral travel and pop out of their body, or, people who aren't just, will go in for a deep, relaxative, like little nap, right? So it works for everybody. And
Wow.
it's another attraction. Mm-hmm.
So someone can just go in there and just have tea if they wanted, or you can just pay for one of those services you just mentioned, and and just be there for an hour or however long you choose.
Exactly. It's up to you. It's a very relaxed atmosphere. You can sit and talk. Like, we'll all talk with people. There's, I've had people wander in off the street even, like I had one guy, I remember he was recovering from drugs, like he was an addict, and he walked in and I wasn't quite sure what to make of him, and he started talking, and I realized how hurt and damaged he was. And as we were talking, he said, just thank you for allowing me to sit and just hear me, so like we even do that. We just hold space for people sometimes when they need it, right?
And that's such a casual and easy way to do it, because he did it on his own. He walked in the shop on his own, and just was a friendly face there to listen.
Yep, exactly. And he didn't understand what was going on with him, but he was actually in his dreams, he was having lucid dreams, right? So then you can sit there and you can talk to him about it, and then he starts to understand, and he starts to start seeking the healing that he needs instead of turning to the drugs and everything else. So
that's kind of the awakening process, right?
It is.
You get one little piece of the puzzle, and then you go, oh, okay, that makes sense. And then what's the next, and then the next,
and just the people that have come since we opened the shop, people like Kumara with the Omni cards, right? And all about the Omni cards. You've had them on your show. Exactly. And then the work that they're doing with water. So the different things that are coming along with to help with the shedding of the vaccines and stuff, right? So there's the pine needle tea and the nanosoma and a bunch of different other products, right?
Wow.
So like we have so many things going on. It's hard to even tell you everything, but all these people are coming forward, and there's a community of healers and people who are moving into the fifth dimension and have been there for a long time. Like Tommy's been like doing this work for like 10 years, my business partner. So it's no wonder that there's so many people coming, even like Kumara's connections, right, that are now coming here, and we're selling their products, such as the Palladian Oracle decks and the Masters of Light Universe. I don't know what it is, a board game, right? So it's just community helping community, right, and making those connections. And it's wonderful to see, right?
The services or the healers you have there, do they have they rent a spot so they're always there, or you have different ones coming and going?
Well, I have a few different rooms, and I do sublease them to different people for either healers or business people like Kumara. And then there's also a person and a room that's always available to just do walk-ins, right?
And problem stuff.
Yeah, and if we weren't under COVID, we would do things like Reiki circles. So it would be like we do a community thing where people could walk in and pay $5 or donation or whatever, and they would get a Reiki session just to give back, right? But with the way things are, we can't do that right now. But those are some of the intentions behind the space.
Yeah, I heard. Canada's having a lot rougher go of it. Like, we've opened up now. The mask date's going away on Friday or Tuesday of next week, and things are getting back to the way they were, but it's not that way for you guys.
Well, Well, right now what's happening is we only can do patio dining, which that just came back 2 weeks ago. And
Well,
then this
one thing now is
Thursday,
it's winter in Canada.
yeah. Well, it has to be a sunny day or else you're not on the patio because it's too cold. But
Okay.
I think Thursday they're opening up the gyms and the rec centers, and then the restaurants can have indoor dining, which I know my clientele will be very happy because then they can start interacting more with us, right?
Good.
But we haven't really followed like, my belief is that whether you have a mask on or not, it's totally up to you. And I don't want to make you feel
Start away.
unsafe. So if you feel safe with the mask on, go ahead. If you don't, then go ahead. Like,
Yeah. I
yeah.
love it.
So we've pretty much stood by that the whole time through this. Um, Other than that, we've tried to follow some protocols just to keep them out of our space so we could keep doing work, right? Part of the other thing that we do that I don't know if I mentioned, but we do a lot of workshops. So we have a lot of practitioners from all kinds of healing modalities to, people awakening 5D, doing psychic training workshops, all those kinds of things. They go on when we're not under these conditions. So
Yeah.
yeah, and we do things like sound baths.
Oh,
So those are,
nice.
yeah. Have you ever had one?
No, but didn't you
Oh,
just hook me up with a sound, or was that you that hooked me up with a sound healer? Is that
yeah, Tiffany.
Tiffany?
Yeah,
Tiffany.
Tiffany. Yeah,
It
so
was
she does
sound,
sound baths.
sings, right? And she sings.
Yes, she sings too. Yeah, she does many things. Yeah,
So
she's
maybe
a
you're
yoga
on
instructor.
guys.
Yeah, there's a lot of different people, and they just come from all over. And then I think in August we're going to be having like a kind of a festival or an event. Um, if they open up and let these events go through with like 150 people or whatever. So maybe we'll be doing that. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see if they allow us to do those kinds of things. But for sure, I want to start doing here.
Yeah, I hope with the summer months here, June's here, everything opens up for you guys. You can get going
Hmm.
on this. It's such a cool idea. Desire
Hmm.
wants to know if you sell crystals, and she said spiritual wellness center and frequency store. She's asking if that's what you are.
Yeah, I have all of that stuff too. I have metaphysical products. So I have crystals, I have healings. So we have the frequency healings, like I was explaining with the pyramid, and then the energy healers that work. I have people that do DNA activations. Um, yeah, I have people that do the access bars. So that's where they go in and touch the different points on your head and then reset it. It's almost like hitting a delete button on different memories and stuff that you have. Um, yes, I'm having trouble remembering them all because there's so many. I have people who provide products. So I have a gentleman who actually healed himself juicing.
Okay. Mhm.
Yeah, and his name is George. So we carry George's juice here, and it's all cold pressed juice, and it's just like medicine. Like when you drink it, there's no fillers in it. It's just straight medicine. It's
Yeah,
phenomenal.
just
Mhm.
straight from the juicer.
Yeah, exactly. Then, yeah, straight from the juicer into the jar. And then we have people who do like mushroom tinctures. So for different healings, things that like for tonics for healing your kidneys and your liver and things like that. And then we have Gary, which you're going to be talking to later, who does the aromatherapy. So he does something called, I'm going to see if I can get the word right, phyto aromacology or something like that. And it's like healing with scents, right? So things like rose or jasmine or whatever
Okay.
the scent
Yes,
happens to be can open up your heart chakra, right?
love
So
it.
yeah,
Love
and he
it. So
does.
yeah, you have a
Sorry.
lot of. So you do a lot of physical healings, and you
Hmm.
do a lot. Like which one of all the people you have in there helps clear patterns and programming that you want to let go of?
Yeah, well, we actually have, so we have people that do the access bars, and then we have like actual people who are shamans as well. So I have Dr. Rin Perot, who she's a Bon Oracle and a shaman, and she's also does, what is it called now?
Not
parapsychology, things like that.
Okay.
Yeah. So she can actually go in and do those types of things. And then I have another lady, Heather, and she goes in and can actually see different blockages and things and help release them. Who else is there? I have Sarah, who can go into homes and clear entities. They can take entities off of you, those kinds of things.
Yep.
Yeah, so we sometimes will have people come in and go, oh my God, my house is haunted. I don't know what's going on. And so, yeah, we'll go out and help clear the house.
Oh, so interesting.
Yeah. I know, like, I don't even know if we had enough time to list everything that goes on. And things are one-off sometimes too, right? You know?
Right.
Yeah.
I know. I like that you have all that variety in there, because then people can learn and be like, well, this never worked for me. So then they figure there's nothing that works, but nothing works. Like Mark says, nothing works for everyone. So
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
And that's the whole idea behind the space, right? Like I have connections with an Indigenous healer. And so like I'll send people to vision quests with him or ghost dances, or I'll send them, you know, because that will resonate with them, going and doing a sweat and healing that way. Different things work for different people. Mm-hmm.
I love
Yeah.
it. So how do the shamans work on changing your beliefs that you want to let go of? Some old childhood programming you want to let go of?
It depends on the actual lineage. So they deal with it differently. Some of them will do it with sound. Some will actually do like what's called psychic surgery. So they'll go in and actually remove whatever it is, because when we do these things, they stay in our body, right? When we have physical trauma or emotional trauma, we hold on to it in the cells and in our body, and then it manifests into disease. So some of the shamans will do what's called psychic surgery. They'll actually go out and remove it, and then you have to put something good back in. So then they'll do it through counseling and talking to the person, right? Some of them do rituals and ceremonies. A lot of it is earth-based or based with nature. So it really depends on the client and what happens, you know, because I had another person that came in to see somebody, and there was a entity, but it was stealing time. So, you know, it's not for everybody, right? Each one is unique. Like, I don't even know how to describe it. It's like a prescription for that particular person, depending on what happened to them in their life, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's why I love hearing about all this stuff. And thank you for introducing me to Gary and Tiffany, and then Daphne. So I have more healers on thing.
Yeah.
Here.
Yeah, like I have more. So I'll just send them to you as I get approval to do so, from each of them. Yeah. Some of them are shy and they don't really want to be in the public eye, which is okay. They do their work and they do it quietly, and they're just humble people, right? They just want to help.
Yep. And do any of them do it? Like some of the people, I don't know anyone that lives in Canada that's on here now anyway, but do they do they do any online work or over the phone, the healers that you work with?
Yes, and so do our readers. We do both. We do Zoom, we do phone, Skype. We would set up meetings all the time. And even through COVID, that's what we were doing, right?
Right. True. Yeah. How did you make it through last year? You wouldn't have been able to be open, right?
Well, we were extremely lucky. The landlord that we have, we're in this old building. It's so cool. It's like historical. It used to be a feed and seed store, which is kind of cool because that's all about nourishment, right? And so like we're nourishing people too through the food and through the work that we do. And he's just been phenomenal. He just told us whatever it takes, that's what we're going to do to make sure you survive this. So we haven't had to pay rent when we couldn't afford or whatever. And he would come and check on us just like a neighbor or friend would. Yeah. Very blessed.
Let me put your website in here so people can go to it. Okay. Awesome.
www.Clair-i-tea.ca.
With the dashes, right?
No, not on the website. There's no dashes.
That
It's
is the
just,
name of her shops, you guys, though. It looks
yeah.
like that. Clair-i-tea is the name of her shop, but what's the website? Just without the dashes?
Yeah, without the dashes, and it's .ca.
Oh, sorry. Right.
Yeah, that's okay. We get used to using the other one, but it's, yeah. Yeah. And thank you, Kelly, for having me on, and bless you for the work that you do.
Oh,
Like,
thank you. Of course. I
yeah,
love this stuff. This is my
yeah,
jam. Oh my
yeah,
God.
like it's
That's
nice
right.
to bring. Oh, I keep talking at the same time as you. It doesn't work very good.
I just want to make sure I got it spelled right.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You guys
perfect.
go to, and Liz was just going to ask, I think I was when I said about doing online work. So if people go to clair-i-tea.com or .ca, sorry,
Yeah.
you can find about your healers and then sign up with one of them.
Yeah, so you can book, and then what I would have to do is contact you for payment over the phone, like either an e-transfer, which if you're in Canada you can do, but in the States you can't. So it would be credit card or PayPal or some other thing. And
Okay.
all of the rates are on there, all the different things that they do. And don't be shy to ask, like send me an email and ask if there's something that you think is weird. Like, I want to talk to my pet and what's wrong with my pet or something like that. Like, we'll try and hook you up with the right person. Yeah.
You do psychic readings with Sammy?
Well, Daphne, who I gave you,
Yeah.
can connect with him, as well as I have another reader, Rin, and she can actually connect in with the pets.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't have an animal psychic come on and have people ask questions about their animals and
Mm-hmm.
it's super fun. And then she can get a reading on this feisty, crazy. He doesn't look crazy, but he's crazy.
Oh, he's very
Guy.
calm. He looks like he's enjoying himself.
He likes doing YouTube videos, but
Yeah.
he
He
has his
goes to sleep.
moments. He goes sleep during them, right? But he's so protective of me. Like no one is
Mm-hmm.
allowed to come near me or touch me, heaven forbid, to get your hand hanging on.
Well, he knows your boundaries then.
Yeah, I probably because I get annoyed with people easily because I'm working on my own issues.
Right. Right. Well,
So
they pick up on all that, right? Because it's all energy.
yes, because he's like my
Mhm.
mom doesn't want to be a part of your energy. He's like, stay away.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. Or it could be even what they're putting off, right? So I
Yes.
can relate a personal story. So when I was 11 months old, I was actually bitten by a dog in the face. And I used to have nightmares every night about a wolf coming and, like grabbing my neck and stuff. And I was terrorized. And it was only when I started working with the shaman that I actually cleared that. And this is an example of some of the stuff that you can do like in person. So personally, what she did for me is there was an actual wolf in my ceremony. So yeah, and
Oh
then
my
all of
God.
the energy work that went on, and the wolf was sitting on my foot and like petting it, and yeah, and then after that, I was fine. I didn't have the dream anymore, and yeah, it's all been cleared. But
Oh
yeah,
my God. Wolves are amazing. Was he
yeah,
the coolest thing ever?
yeah, she's beautiful, and she's almost like a pet dog. Like she's so tame now, and now she's older, so she's not as active and stuff. So that was pretty cool.
What if she
Yeah.
saw me? What would happen?
The wolf? Oh,
Yeah.
she would treat it like a dog. Like she's pretty much like a dog right now.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah, she's really calm and tame.
Oh my God.
Hmm.
That's so much bigger though, right? That must like 100 pounds or something.
Yeah. So
Okay.
she's pretty round now because she's slow, but they're pretty big and tall, right? When they stand up on their hind legs, like they're,
Yeah,
you know,
big.
yeah, big.
At
Hmm.
least 6 feet probably.
Yeah. It's pretty cool though, like just to know that you can actually go through a ritual and release something. So like these rituals that you do where you write down everything you want to let go of and then you burn it and you send it into the ethers. And like people don't understand that world, that realm is actually real. Like
Right.
because they can't see it and touch it, or they're not connected enough, they believe it doesn't exist. But for those people who are sensitive, you know, they see and feel and hear and taste everything, right? Mm-hmm.
For sure. God,
Yeah.
I wish I had one of those near me. I would love, because I've gone to conferences in the past where they have things like that, different
Mm-hmm.
healing modalities, but that's been like
Mm-hmm.
10 years ago. It's been so
Mm-hmm.
long. I haven't even seen a conference like that in forever. It was some raw
Yeah.
food I went to, and then they had all these other little side things you could go. But
Right.
what you offer would be ideal because it's so chill. You just show up and you just see what's
Mm-hmm.
going on, and
Mm-hmm.
I
It would
love
be
it.
just like us right now. We'd just be sitting here having a cup of tea and talking, and I'd be telling you, you know, answering all your questions about the space or whatever you want to know. But there's so many people awakening and coming into the shop. The one that I love is everybody comes in and they want to know how to clear their space of the energy, and they're all buying sage and everything to clear their space, and they don't know how to use it, and they don't, you know, so all these people are looking for answers, right? And they're just starting. And in a place like this, I try to take them slowly and gradually through everything because they can be overwhelmed by how much stuff is in the space, right?
I bet.
Mm-hmm.
I see. Desire's asking, have you ever done in services online that could be offered to us? Have you ever done in services online that could be offered to us, not near Canada? Well, that's just online or over the phone. That's what she
Yeah.
said.
Yeah, we offer them all the time. The last person that we had was in Belgium. Yeah, we did some entity work and clearing and stuff on them, and yeah. So
do they do a Zoom or just over the phone, video or phone?
yeah, through Zoom. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mary says, is that what makes me round? Because I have slowed down. Good, Mary.
Oh, you're funny.
Yes, that is what makes people round by
Mm-hmm.
activity.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you know, and I'm gotten rounder.
Desire, she's in Canada. She's in Edmonton, Canada, Alberta. Where are you,
Right.
Desire? I suppose we were confused about your question. Yeah, she's in Edmonton, Canada.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, Mary wants one. What would be an hour of, like, what kind of service, like the sound healing? What's an hour? Oh, she means like,
An hour of sound healing?
or whatever healing, whatever modality.
Yeah, they're all different.
Yeah.
And some of them are offered by outside people as well. So, like the pyramid can also be used for sound healing. So, we'll have sound healers go in and we'll have the pyramid set at a certain healing frequency, and then they'll do their sound healing work in the pyramid as well. We've had like tea ceremonies. Yeah, it's like 11 by 11 room. So, you can fit like 6 or 7 people in the pyramid. If you're doing like a tea ceremony or something, but normally just one person goes in. Mm-hmm.
And Desire's asking, what about a group? Do you offer groups also?
You mean like group readings?
On Zoom? Like there's,
yeah, we can work.
Modality.
Yeah, like they just have to contact us, like just send me an email. And like I said, I can set pretty much anything up. I have to find the right practitioner to put them with. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Desire, just reach out to Kris and her information. Go to her website, and you guys can talk about, like, she has 25 people that may want to do a Zoom, but I don't know what healing modality you're referring to. But yeah, you guys can figure that out.
Oh, okay. Yeah, like if it's a reading, then there's somebody, but I don't know if we would do like a whole 25 room healing type thing. You mean like a sound bath? We could probably do a sound bath for them.
Something that's not personalized.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
But just like if you either call or email or text or something, then we can get you the information that you need, because everything is so designed for each person because we're all so different and we all need different things, right? And I try to make sure everybody's happy. We'll do like even events like birthday parties or something. So there's a group of ladies that all want to come in for tea and snacks and readings. So I'll do packages for them to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. So like I'm having Gary on next week, and he does like talk about the essential oils, right? Doesn't he?
Yes.
Essential oils or crystals and how to work with them. And
yeah, he works a lot with Gaia, so Mother Nature. So that's why he likes the oils too, I guess. But he does even grounding ceremonies. He uses the pyramid as well for sacred ceremonies. So he'll make special tea blends and stuff, and with like pine needles or things from nature. We've had like events where we've had all Valentine's orientated stuff. So he's had like an oil that he's anointed people with before the meditation. They've had a special tea. They've had some grounding and different things. And then they do a meditation in the pyramid. It's quite beautiful. But he also creates, this is something that he'll talk about, but it's soul prints. So he'll sit and actually talk to you, and everybody has a tree, a flower, and a spice that's them. And he'll help create that, and then he creates a little pendant and everything that it's stored in, and it's called a soul print.
nice.
So, yeah, there's a lot of services, but I'll let him talk about all the stuff that he does. Yeah, there's a lot. And then Tommy, he likes to talk to people one-on-one when they come in who are pretty much 5D. And we actually have a 5D group here that they started. And they just do events and stuff together. And it just helps them feel like community, like they belong, like there's somebody that understands them, and they can be, weird and freaky selves, and everybody accepts them.
People.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh, I see aliens. Oh, do you? Right.
Right.
Yeah.
They wouldn't fit in with my corporate people.
Yeah, the corporate people. I used to have enough trouble with corporate people when I would say, I have this feeling and you shouldn't hire that person. And they'd hire them, and
like that. They're like,
yeah,
their resume says this. You're like, but I have this feeling about it. Like, oh, you're crazy.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you a funny story, because there's two people that work here that I actually hired with the high-rise window cleaning company I used to work with. And it was a relationship breakup that ended that. And these two ladies that were there, I said to them, you guys are both going to come work for me. And they both work for me now.
Oh, wow.
A year and a half later, right? I wasn't allowed to talk to them or anything for 18 months, but just the way that the whole business evolved and stuff. And so now they're both here working for me. So when you know stuff, right? You don't. How do you do that?
Two people at the same company that were a good fit for your Psychic Teashop. I mean, how random is that?
Yeah, but it's also like I just said to them when I walked out the door, I said, you guys are both going to come work for me.
And they're like, okay.
Yeah, but it's just a knowing, right? You just know stuff. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see what we need in our world, people to relate to. Yes, Mary. And desire is boating to Canada. Nice.
Ah, nice.
I live at the ocean.
Oh, I love the ocean.
So Mary lives in Oregon. How long would it take to drive to Edmonton from Oregon?
Oh, I have no clue. I know from southern Alberta to Edmonton, like the border where Washington is, it's probably about 17 hours just from the border.
Okay, Mary, you should
fly.
No,
maybe. No, because that was from Fort McMurray. Let me recount that. So that would take 4 hours off of that. So yeah, probably about 13, 14 hours from the border.
Do you think the earth is flat?
I don't know. I have no clue, but we have people that discuss that all the time. Our group actually went for a spa night.
You need to go to
the 5D group. We went for a spa night, and it was a discussion whether the earth was flat or not. Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Although I had a lady on earlier today, and Mark did ask the
Mhm.
question. Actually, she was a psychic I had on earlier, and
Mhm.
she asked when she channeled, is the earth round or flat? And it was more of a sphere, something to that effect. It wasn't round or flat.
Yeah, it's kind of a different shape is what I've been told by a few people, but I mean, I have no clue. It's not my everyday research.
You don't think your life would change if you knew it was flat?
I don't think so. I'm very people orientated. So like my reality is right now. Like
I'm
I'm in
messing.
the now. I'm here with you.
I know. That's what I tell him all the time. He just teases me. He just likes to ask about it.
Oh, does
Um,
he?
yeah, he says it's just funny. Mary has no vacation, no fly. Week trip on. Have to rent an RV. That would actually be fun to rent an RV in the summertime when the weather's so nice. Go to Oregon and Washington and up to Canada.
Oh
That would
yeah,
be,
and then you could go to the Rocky Mountains.
yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah. Hmm.
That would be worth like having a girl trip, fly to Edmonton. You get to do the tea shop once a day, however long you're there. And there's other,
Hmm.
how far is Edmonton from, I don't know my geography in Canada, from Banff?
6 hours.
Oh, it's okay. It's pretty far.
Hmm.
That would be pretty fun to,
Yeah.
although the nearest airport, if you're going to Banff, is still a 2-hour drive. So it's, I was
Yeah,
supposed to go years
like
ago.
if you go to Calgary, Banff is close.
Calgary.
It's not that far, but Calgary's 3 hours south of us. Yeah.
Okay.
Hmm.
Yeah. It would be fun though to do a trip there and just get to and here Kathy wants to see a fellow, or Karen, sorry, a fellow
Hmm.
Edmontonian. Are you from Edmonton?
Oh, cool. Me, myself? No, I moved here in 2015.
Oh, where'd you come from?
Um, I was actually born in a little town called Fort St. John, BC. And then I'm from a small farming community before that, and then Fort McMurray and Drayton Valley, and then here. I was all over Alberta. I'm an Albertan, basically.
Right.
Um,
You stayed in
but
that
yeah,
town. Oh, cool.
Edmontonian now.
Now, if you end up moving to Sedona one day, you think you'll open your tea shop in Sedona?
I don't know if I would or not. Right now, I'm planning to try and get people who have educational materials together to be able to share that with the world and have a platform for them. And then my next thing is to be able to share information like you do by broadcasting, right? And just having, yeah, a lot of local people on and share it with the local area.
Yeah, you could
Mhm.
just get a camera, have someone come and film you in your tea shop, Kamara, and then you
Mhm.
can interview different people in the shop, and that would be so
Mhm.
cool.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of cool people that come here all the time and really different people. I remember we had this one guy, he came in one time and he had this crystal. It was like this big bowl of crystal, and he was carrying it in a case and he didn't leave it alone. It was like his baby. And he took it in the pyramid and charged it because you can charge like crystals or water or anything in a pyramid, right? And he just didn't let go of this thing, and then he was doing some sorts of spells with it. And like you just never know, like people are on their own journey, right, of awakening, and what that means for each person is different. So
Is Edmonton a hotbed for healers?
it is becoming that way. I think that Edmonton eventually will be like a mecca for spirituality.
Like
That's my
Sedona?
feeling. Yeah, like what's going on. Yeah, it'll be like that. Mhm.
All right. I want to go there.
Okay, I'm waiting for you to come.
I know. I'll line me up with every one of your healers. I'm down.
Oh, we would love it. Well, that's their joy, right?
Oh my
Mhm.
God, that would be so cool.
Mhm.
All right. All right. What
Okay.
else do you have? I think we have all the questions answers. So you guys go to clair-i-tea.ca. Sorry, this flows off the tongue.com,
Yeah.
.ca.
Yeah.
And yeah, see what kind of healers are there, whatever energy workers resonate with you,
Mhm.
and sign up for one. I
Yeah.
got to do that too, because I don't even know. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah, and there's even stuff that's not on the page. So there, like, that's why I said, like, if you're looking for something in particular, just email me, because a lot of people are like affiliates with us. So I try to help as many people as I can. Like, I can't possibly have every single one here. So like, I will send them to that person if it's a certain modality that they need. So yeah, just give us a shout.
I wonder if I could do one, like do an arrangement on here, like sign up for an hour's, I don't know what it would be, but get people to sign up and then have one of your people do a session with us for
A reading? Oh, yeah. And then I would be able, like, if you had a huge group, I would be able to do a discount on the rates as well. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I guess I need to talk to you offline and ask, like, what would that be? Because
Yeah, for sure.
obviously not a psychic reading.
Yeah.
And you. Maybe they're all right.
Yeah, well, we can do whatever. And then, like, if there's people that, like, for example, Sarah, she does mediumship, so she can talk to the people that have crossed over. She sees them and has since she was like 2, right? So, I mean, there's so many different things that we offer.
Yeah, I've been talked offline. Desire is into it. Are any of you guys else into it? Would that be something of interest to you if I were to get someone scheduled for an hour, like a few weeks out in advance, get everyone on board and get people to buy, I guess, tickets for it, pay whatever their fee is, and then I can bring them the people?
Yeah. And then we would just have to figure out the time, right?
Yeah, whatever works for everyone.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. That'd be awesome.
Yeah. I love doing that stuff too. And I love doing special events, and I love doing things that make people light up, right? Because that's what we're here for, to bring joy as well, right?
Yeah, totally. And you're hitting all the different areas by having all these different healers around and just being around that energy every day.
Exactly.
Crazy.
Yeah. Yep. And plus you get to learn, right? Like, you never stop learning. There's always something else to learn, or a new modality, or they have these Rife machines now, and they have like aura reading machines, and like we're talking about that. Or then there's even talk about med beds and all these other things coming out. Yeah.
I love it. I'm in Silicon Valley, where everything is high tech and work 12, 14 hours a day. I don't. Only part I fit with is the mountains and the ocean.
Yeah. Well, and those are grounding for you, right? The mountains is the earth, and the water is, the ocean is the water, right? We need both.
I love it. I love that part. If it weren't for the landscape and the weather is phenomenal. That's the only reason I live. That's the only reason anyone lives here, though.
Right. Exactly. Well, there's a few places, right? Well, you need to move to Sedona, because Sedona's like, doesn't have the ocean, but it has the nice dry heat.
I do, but I think I need to be closer to water, at least a big lake or something. It doesn't have to be the ocean. A house on a lake with not a ton of humidity. Where's that? And no cold.
Well, yeah, that's the trick. You added no cold.
I don't do winter.
Yeah, exactly. Or you could do like someplace like Costa Rica.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, it's lovely there.
I've never been to Costa Rica. I don't know. They get a ton of rain, don't they?
I think I've been to Costa Rica many times, and it's only rained the once. It depends on the rainy season. If you go in the rainy season, you might get a lot. Yeah. But I think you get mostly good weather.
It's so beautiful and green there. They must get a ton of rain.
But they have a lot of animals, and they're very nature orientated. So lots of wildlife preserves and lots of wonderful things to see, right?
Are there monkeys there?
Yes.
Must be lots of.
And you have to watch, because sometimes you think it's rain, but it's not rain. Because it's the monkeys. Yeah, I had that happen a couple of times when I was there. Yeah, not so nice. But yeah, so I welcome anybody to just get in touch with us and see what we can do for you. And I really appreciate anybody that, calls from a distance. Mhm.
Okay. Mark says all you need is a placebo. Just act like you're using a triangle. You can do that, but it would be nice to actually be in the triangle.
Well, the actual shape of the triangle is healing by itself. So there's lots of people that put their food and stuff under a triangle, like just one of those little
Yeah.
copper ones, or your water or whatever, because it does generate a certain frequency, right? The pyramid that we have here, though, it's like got a crystal cap. So the cap is amethyst and aquamarine, and then there's a little ball, and then we have a what do you call it? Amplifier. And we set the iPad to a certain frequency. So you've got to target whatever frequency you need for that person, for, you know, physical or spiritual or whatever you're after. And then it goes to that ball. And what that ball does is it creates a torus field in the toroidal field in the middle of the pyramid. And that's what runs through your body. Right. Yeah, exactly. Those are like little minis, right? And iPyramid actually created little mini torus ones that you can wear that do the same thing. They're almost like a little necklace. Yeah, and then we've added like the sound in there. So the binaural beats are in there, the EMF mat and the goggles, like I said. And then there's also aromatherapy that is played. So it's mixed and matched for the person's needs, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, so I'll have people come in and they'll be like, oh my God, just do something for me. I'm so anxious. I don't know what to do. And I'll put them in there and then they leave and they're like, okay, I just want to go to bed now. I'm just so relaxed, right? So it does work.
Do you have like infrared saunas?
I don't have those here, but we have places. We have in Edmonton, we have like salt rooms and stuff, and the infrared saunas and the wet saunas. We talked about doing a salt room here. I don't know if we will. It's just going to depend on this whole thing and how it unravels. But I have a business partner in Calgary, and he's from Egypt, and he runs a store called Son of Pharaoh. And I would recommend, if you guys are looking for any Egyptian stuff, and like go to his place online, because he does international shipping as well. But he was going to bring over bricks of salt from Egypt, and the salt is like not the pink Himalayan salt, it's white Egyptian salt. So it's charged differently, but it's meant for healing. Like they used to use it in ancient Egypt, right? So we talked about doing a salt room here with that, but I don't know how that'll play out based on what's going on.
What's his website?
Son of the Pharaoh.
Son of the.
Is it? I don't know if it's, I think his is .com. I'm not sure. Just give me a sec. I'll have to look it up.
How do you spell Pharaoh? P-H-A.
Pharaoh.
Oh, I spelled that wrong.
Yeah, his is .com. So sonofthepharaoh.com.
Okay, we'll see if is that right? Oh, well, now there's 2 dots in there.
Yeah, it's right, but it's 1 dot. Yeah. That's okay.
I'm going to check that out too.
Mm-hmm.
See, I love learning all this cool stuff, people.
Yeah, he has really unique stuff, like from low end to high end, and stuff that is even like ancient, that was actually taken out of tombs and stuff and not just made, because they make a lot of stuff there too. But really nice man. His name's Ahmad.
Go back to your website. Thank you for advertising for Sun Up for Ahmad.
Well, I mean, he's a really, really wonderful man. He's a healer too, so he does different things as well. So
find him in Egypt.
What's that?
You find him in Egypt?
No, in Calgary.
Oh, Calgary.
He moved from Egypt to Calgary, and he actually does. Yeah, he does trips to Egypt as well. Like he does tours. So twice a year they take people to Egypt and take them to all the sacred sites and all of that sort of stuff. So that's really cool too.
Okay, Desire says all based on the frequency that needs healing, right? Each chakra vibrates at their own frequency. I have charts I can update for Kelly. Yay! I have to ask these systems. Oh, that'd be awesome. Thank
There
you.
you go. Look at you. You just get all the information.
Got all the goods here, Kris. You just got to come to me.
Yeah.
No.
Well, but it does come to you when you just surround yourself with the right group of people. It all starts to come, right?
That reminds me what I was going to ask you.
Mhm.
How have you noticed since you opened your tea shop and then now, like being surrounded by that energy all the time, like
Yeah.
despite COVID, what's the change that you've noticed in yourself, or how do you, like when you're not around it for a while, do you notice a difference?
I don't like going anywhere. I don't like going outside, right? I kind of like live in a bubble. I go from my house
I
to
bet.
here, and I don't like going out in public at all. Like it's just not the same. And um, like, because I can feel people, I can hear their thoughts and I can feel them. So like I can feel when people are being judgmental, and I can, so it's really uncomfortable to be
Right.
in public. And with here, people just come in, they feel safe, and we feel normal. Like I said, I don't judge whether people come in and they do or they don't. And we just relate to them as human beings, right?
Yeah,
Mhm.
I kind of feel like those people like yourself and then the higher vibe just will migrate all to the same types of towns. I guess they already do that now, like where you
Yeah.
are, Sedona
Yeah.
and whatnot. And then
Hmm.
maybe the people who like the 3D and want to stay there will stay in the 3D, like Silicon Valley and those types of places, or Manhattan or city life.
Yeah, maybe.
I
I
don't know.
just really think that people will each come to their own awakening at the time that suits them. And as a business owner, I just leave my door open for whoever, because you
Yeah.
never know when you say that one sentence or that one word, it can trigger somebody into a whole healing journey. And I've witnessed it so many times. And I've traveled a lot in the States. And I remember particularly, I don't know, do you know who Danny Johnson is?
No.
Okay, well, she's one of the motivational speakers or whatever. And I went down there to one of her conferences, and I remember that you had to pre-register, and everybody was in this, I don't know, lobby. And this one lady pulled up, and she was like so mad that they weren't there yet, and how dare they? And she was swearing and yelling. And I looked at her and I just went, you know what, ma'am? I said, I'm sure they have a perfectly good reason for not being here. I said, this is a huge event, and I can't see them, not wanting to show up. And sure enough, their flight was delayed, and they were going straight from the airport to the thing. And she was standing in line beside me, and she was still like really agitated. And then we got into the event, and she got called up on stage. And she came to me after the thing, and she said, you changed my life. I was ready to leave the event because they weren't there, but what you said to me made me stay. And Danny just changed my life when she called me up on stage.
Oh,
So
wow.
yeah,
You
you never know. Yeah. That's my belief anyways. So we need to be accountable for what we say to people, right?
right. And just
Mhm.
keep an open mind. And
Yeah,
it's a
exactly.
practice. Like you get used to, like with anything, there's a learning curve.
Exactly. And it's the same thing with this whole transition that, people label it 3D, 5D, whatever the labels are. It's just moving and evolving as a being into a more compassionate, loving being where we're meant to be,
Right.
right? And
Exactly.
yeah, and I watch so many different people. And I mean, I could relate all these different people that have come into my store. And sometimes, I'm a little nervous. I have to say, like when they come in and they're like talking to themselves and and saying, bizarre things. And I'll be like, can I help you? And I remember one gentleman, he was like quoting things out of the Bible and he was yelling. And I just walked over to him and I said, are you all right? And he said, my dad used to have one of those stones, and it was like a tiger's eye crystal. And I just said, well, here, this is my gift to you. You go and, think about your dad. And he calmed right down, and then he left and he said, thank you. And he left. So it doesn't take much, right? And
Yeah.
you never know. Yeah. I just want everybody to, treat each other with love and respect and
Sounds like that's
grow.
what you're attracting in your tea shop.
Mhm.
So it's brilliant.
Yeah. Well, thank you. I really appreciate this opportunity and being able to express and share, some of the things that I think and feel, because for a long time I was the crazy one. Yeah.
We all felt crazy at some point. Let's not deny that.
Yeah. Well, we were made to feel crazy, but we allowed it, right? Because we didn't know any better.
Yeah, because we were in a
Mhm.
place where we weren't on the same wavelength, shall we
Mhm.
say.
Exactly.
Rosalie wants to ask you a question concerning the new moon Thursday. Do you write down everything you want to release on a paper and burn, and and whatever you wish you burn also? Yeah, I've done it both ways. Like myself, I burn what I want to release, and I've also created what I wish and I burn. So it's like it puts it out into the universe.
Yeah. So what it's doing is releasing energy and making space for new energy to be available. So when you're doing that, that's what's happening. Something else that's really good, and I know you probably talked to Kamara a lot about water, but water actually carries prayers or carries your thoughts and feelings too. So other good things are to stand in the shower or in the bath with Epsom salts or something, and especially that, because you can lay in there and you can release and wash all of that stuff off of you, right? So a good cleansing works too. There's many different ways to do things. Yeah.
Yeah. So as far as like, she wants to know, why would you burn your wishes? She understands releasing them by burning the piece of paper that you wrote down what you want to release, but why would you burn what you want to wish?
Yeah, because you're releasing the energy behind it, right?
Yeah,
So it can come to you because you've made space for it. So it's like, I'm releasing this. I know that it's done, right?
Yeah,
It's
like just on this piece of paper and you burn it and then it's like everywhere. It's like now I'm
yeah. So it's twofold, right? It does two things depending on your intention.
I was just going to say, it depends on your intention. Your intentions to burn and release, or your intentions to put it out in the.
Intention is everything. Like, we were given dominion. We were given the authority to say, I don't want this in my space, or I do want this in my space, right? So what you speak, what you think, what you feel, when you combine those three, that's the power, right?
It is. It's so the power of intention.
Exactly.
Rosalie, enjoyed your answer.
Oh, you're very welcome. You're very welcome.
Bringing the devil into it. Oh, Mark. No.
Is he
bring the devil in it?
He's just trying to stir the pot.
I don't know. He's funny. So fine. Thank you for coming on the show today. That was awesome. I love hearing about it. I was so excited as soon as we booked it. I'm like, I know I'm going to want to visit this place ASAP.
Yeah. Well, when they start allowing things to go back to normal, for sure, you have to fly up one day and just come check it out. Or maybe I'll get Kamara to walk through with the camera or something one day, just so you can see.
Yeah, I haven't met Kamara face to face yet, so I would love to book a trip and go. Yeah, I only know him since COVID stuff, so I haven't met anyone.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll get him to book with you.
Okay.
Right on. Okay. Thanks, Kelly, for having me.
Yeah. Thank you guys for tuning in. And please go to clair-i-tea.ca and should I give them an email for you, or is there a?
Sure. It's just clair-i-tea7@gmail.com.
Actually, I'm going to put it in the banner so everyone can see it. CLAIRITEA at.
No, 7, the number 7 at gmail.com.
All right, guys, you guys can email her if you want to learn more details about her offerings. And I'll talk to you too about if I can get interest in people watching that they want to do an hour-long session with one of your healers, and I can set it up.
Sure. Sounds good. Okay. Thanks, Kelly.
Thanks.
All right.
Thank you.